Vortex here, and welcome to my review of the Rose Technics Ceramics. This is a brand I've got zero experience with, and yeah, just getting to the disclaimer. So I'd like to thank Linsol for sending this out to me, so thank you very much. I was not paid to this video. All thoughts and opinions are my own, and these are obviously a Bluetooth pair of TWS, so yeah, let's just get into it. So let's see what you get. So ceramics, again, I've heard of this make, but I don't know anything about them, good or bad. Supercharged, I'll have to see what that's about. Some basic specs, so 15 meters, which is more than enough. Impedance 32 ohms. Less important because it's Bluetooth and you can't really have any control of that basically. Bluetooth 5.3, 40 minutes charging, which is quite fast really. USB-C, 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz, and some voltages. Now all I've done is I've just pulled off the tab to open them, but I've not seen what's inside. So let's see. That's it. Accessories, charge cable, there's some tips. So okay, seem quite a wide bore. Obviously charge cable. Again, most folks will probably just use the one with the phone. Earphone box. Create difference. Okay. Quick bit of paperwork. Okay, so the colours, which is used for charging, resetting, troubleshooting, precautions, warranty, statement, what's in the box, first time pairing, pairing another device, touch controls, so it does have volume control, it's got next track, it's got previous track, which is good to see. Sometimes you miss one or the other, or both, but you can do next track, previous track, up and down, excuse me, and sound effects, so. And there's the case. So it's kind of feels slightly rubbery. Seems, excuse me, seems fine. So we've got a case in a case. So it feels kind of like velvet. Okay. Excuse me. And yeah, fingerprint magnet. Type-C and the button, and yeah, kind of normal kind of shape. And yeah, so excuse me, so I'll do a microphone test as per usual. Seems like a big fingerprint magnet. Again, no idea what these are like, and yeah, I'll see you in the future. And yes, I am a bit sick, so just stick with me, so sorry about that. Yeah, so I'll see you in the future. This is a microphone test of the Rose Technics Ceramics. I am actually using them both in stereo. I'm in a quiet room. And this is just me at a normal speaking volume. I'm hitting about minus 12 dB in Audacity, for example. That's how I'm recording this. And yeah, this is just what it sounds like. Yes, so welcome to my review section of the Rose Technics Ceramics, as it states. So let's talk about microphone. Like you heard that just in the previous clip. Let me know what you think. Good, bad. Yeah, just let me know. And let's talk about fit, because that's very important to me. Let's take these out. So on the whole, I was actually quite happy with them, but bear in mind, so these are quite wide bore. That's quite wide, so make sure you get the right tips to fit. You may have to use your own tips from something else. Just bear that in mind, because that's what they come with. And obviously that's what it looks like without. So yeah, for comfort, for me it was actually okay, nothing amazing. But it was secure enough, so that's essentially important enough. So let's talk about the battery life and obviously the case. So battery life on this set is 28 and 7 from the unit, so 35 in total, which is enough basically. It's not amazing, but it's not bad either. And the case, as you can see, there's a lot of fingerprint grease, which is a bit of a shame. And yeah, so let's talk about actually Bluetooth. So the Bluetooth 5.3, no issues at all with that, stable. I'm very happy with, and they do come with 3 sound modes, which I'll talk about in the graph kind of section. So micro details and kind of resolution. So these use a 10mm DLC. The driver I find is actually pretty good, to be honest, and on the whole it does perform well enough for that. Soundstage is okay as well on this set, and imaging was actually fine on this set as well. So let's talk about, I think, sound really. So let's put these away. So like I said, these do come with 3 EQ modes. You basically press the left one 3 times and then it states the mode that you're in. So it's not just a gamble basically. So I put the graph up now so you can have a look. Now you can see this hi-fi, pop and rock. Now I'll just split them all into sections. So hi-fi has the least amount of bass. It can sound a bit thin. It does have that bass bump, but there's no bleed really. It's a bit clean. It sounds thin, but it also has the most amount of treble. So least bass, most treble isn't the best recipe really, in my opinion. Also, they're all aggressively tuning the treble, and sometimes with sibilants, which is a bit of a shame really. And one thing that does help Soundstage is around 15k-ish. They've all got those kind of spikes, so it does help. The 8K is obviously fake because it's from the coupler. Now, least preferred for me, again, like I say, is hi-fi. It probably does have the cleanest mid-range from what it is, but they're all still kind of like V'd in a way. And yeah, so let's talk about, I'd say, rock. So rock has the most amount of bass and the least amount of treble. Again, V-shaped mid-range, well, basically all of them. That's probably one of the negatives. Now in some parts the lower mids are thick and the upper mids are thick. So V-shaped really. Again, treble on all 3 sets is aggressive, so it is detailed. Vocals are forward, it can be sharp. Now one thing that does benefit all of these is low volume listening, as I found, and if you listen to anything, I think on low volume, especially these, they don't sound half as aggressive as they look on the graph. So on quieter volumes, they actually sound fine really. It's just when you turn it up, this graph, you really hear like the negative parts really. And then basically pop. So mid level, say for bass really, then up again, like it has probably again too much treble. So rock I think has the best treble because it has the least, and probably most amount of bass. So it's all preference, but tuning on these is excuse me, is probably not all I prefer. It's still too coloured in the mid range. On the whole, there's a bit too much treble for me, but the bass is pretty good. It's nothing really exciting, but the DD that they use, I think they've used it because it can take the bass boost basically. I don't know if it's natural or if it's obviously, well, it must be just the EQ that's built into the units. The DD can take it, which means it's quite competent. You can also use some sort of EQ as well to change the sounds. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So conclusion is, what do I think of these? They're not a bad set. I think it's $39.99, so just under $40. On the whole, works fine. So good enough battery life. The DD is good. The actual sound quality is good. Yeah, I just think the tunings for I want is too V-shaped. I think there should be something that's much more balanced, especially in the treble. So like on the graph where it shoots up past the 2K, I think it should start to roll off there. Again, on lower volume listening, it's not really a problem. Yeah, good fit. I don't like the fingerprints on the case, but again, you could take it or leave it. I don't know if that really matters to you. But this company has made obviously IEMs before. Yeah, on the whole, it's not a bad set. It's just the tuning from what I like is a bit aggressive. Other normal people may like the strong V shape, makes it sound more energetic and lively really. But then you do lose kind of mid-range, so it just depends on, like what you want really. So have another quick look. I think that's pretty much it. So on the whole, not a bad set. I'm a bit on the wall really, because they've got good points and they've got bad points. I just think the treble, personally for me, just my opinion, it is a little bit sharp really with the big V shape. And I think that's pretty much it. So if you know anything particular, please do let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, take care, and yeah, as usual, I'll see you in the next video.